What if the thing you long for most isn't missing at all? What if the ache in your heart is proof not of absence, but of presence? Presence of a self that already knows fulfillment. Desire doesn't arrive because you lack. Desire arrives because somewhere inside your quantum field, the life you crave is already alive. Pause for a moment and feel it. That love, abundance, freedom, purpose, vitality, they are not calling to you. They are calling from you, from a version of yourself who has already breathed it, embodied it, lived it fully. Yet that self can feel impossibly distant, can it? Like a parallel life shimmering just out of reach. Close enough to ache for, yet too far to grasp. And the paradox traps almost everyone. The more you chase, the harder it becomes. Wanting, when tangled with resistance, becomes the wall between you and the life you're longing for. Desire born from wholeness is magnetic. It pulls timelines toward you. It resonates with creation. But desire fueled by lack distorts reality. It collapses the wave into the frequency of "I don't have," and the universe, ever faithful, mirrors that vibration. Because the quantum field doesn't respond to words, plans, or effort, it responds to being, to the coherence of your thoughts, emotions, and actions, aligning as one signature frequency. When your wanting is clouded with doubt, fear, or struggle, the signal becomes muddled. The wave never settles into the form you hope for because you are still tuned to the version of yourself who waits, not the one who receives. This is not abstract philosophy. This is physics. Observation shapes outcome. And when you watch your desires through the lens of absence, you code your future as missing. Every glance, every thought, every check reinforces the loop. Consider this. When you long for love, your body vibrates with loneliness. When you crave wealth, your heart pulses with scarcity. When you yearn for freedom, your breath tightens with confinement. Even as your mind screams yes, your energy whispers no. And the quantum field listens only to the whisper. Here lies a truth most ignore. The tighter you cling, the more reality mirrors lack. Each attempt to control timing, each desperate visualization laced with doubt, each mental check-in about arrival, collapses a timeline where it has not yet manifested. The more attached you are, the stronger the signal of not yet becomes. So the question is no longer how to get it. The deeper question is why you are still vibrating as someone who does not yet have it. Once this is understood, creation transforms. You stop chasing and start tuning. You stop striving and begin remembering. What if desire isn't a personal craving at all, but a transmission from the field? Each longing a subtle GPS from your own future, inviting you to expand into the next version of yourself. Wanting then becomes not a flaw, but a compass. Pain is not proof of absence. Pain is proof of misalignment with the self who already holds what you seek. Desire, then, is not to suppress nor to obey blindly. It is a portal, a vibrational current. Your task is not to run after it, but to resonate with it. But how do you tune into something unseen? That is the mystery your soul came to solve. Alignment isn't found in doing, it is found in being. This is where most manifestation teachings fall short. They teach strategy, scripting, rituals, vision boards. But the quantum field doesn't respond to the list. It responds to coherence. Even a single thought, emotion, or action out of sync prevents the wave from collapsing. You don't attract your future, you remember it. Yet if it is already done, why does it feel distant? Why does desire ache so much? Because hidden in your nervous system is a memory whispering, "It is not safe, it is not possible, it is not me." This unconscious code collapses a different timeline, a loop of waiting, hoping, almost. Until this memory is rewritten energetically and somatically, you orbit the life you know while glimpsing the one you crave. So what now? We break the loop. We stop chasing and start remembering. The version of you who already has it is not out there somewhere. It is encoded in your field, whispering through your desires, hidden in your longings, waiting not to be summoned, but to be chosen. And as you begin to listen, you'll notice subtle impressions, flashes, images, emotions that feel familiar yet new. Your brain quietly is already touching that future. You are not imagining a better life. You are neurologically remembering it. Memory is not linear. It is not past to present. It is an antenna receiving signals from what wants to be, from scenarios you have not yet lived but feel intimately connected to. Why does a certain version of success feel so familiar, even when it hasn't happened yet? Why do some futures feel like déjà vu, as if you've lived them somewhere outside of time? It's because your brain is not just remembering the past, it's remembering the future. Not symbolically, but neurologically. Modern neuroscience, especially in the realm of predictive coding and neuroplasticity, reveals a hidden truth. The human brain is not a passive recorder of events, but an architect of perception. It doesn't wait for reality to unfold. It predicts, constructs, and fills in the gaps with expectation. Every thought, every feeling, every image you see is shaped by the data your mind already believes to be true. And here's the twist. When your inner world is saturated by a vision of the future, and that vision repeats with emotional fire, the brain updates its model of reality. It begins to store that imagined future as memory. Once remembered, the body begins to follow the script. Your nervous system does not ask whether something is physically real. It only listens for consistency. That's why people can suffer from trauma they never consciously recall, or heal from experiences they've never lived. To the body, emotion is proof of existence. If the feeling is strong enough, it becomes fact. Dr. Joe Dispenza calls this neurochemical conditioning. When you rehearse a future scene with clarity and emotion, your neurons wire it as if it already happened. This isn't daydreaming, it's installation. A new template begins to form in your biology. And once installed, your energy starts to magnetize experiences that resonate with that new imprint. It alters what you notice, what you respond to, and what opportunities you unconsciously allow into your life. But here's where many fall short. Visualization without emotion is just a sketch, an outline without life, a melody without sound. For the future to become memory, it must be felt. Your heart must race as if the dream has arrived. Your breath must deepen as if love is already in the room. Your body must move as though safety, wealth, and peace are already yours. Without this emotional signature, the mind labels your vision as fantasy. But when gratitude, awe, and joy electrify the image, the label changes from imagine to remember. And here, science begins to echo the mystics. For centuries, sages have said that time is not a straight line, that the soul exists outside of chronology, that your future self isn't ahead of you. It's beside you, vibrating at another frequency. When your brain begins to resonate with that vibration, you start to entangle with that version of yourself. Quantum physics calls this entanglement. Two particles, separated by space and time, remain connected, responding instantly to one another. Consciousness works the same way. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions align with a specific version of your future, you become energetically entangled with that self. And once the link is formed, your present begins to reorganize. At first, it's subtle, a coincidence here, a chance encounter there. Then suddenly, everything begins to move in rhythm. The right people appear, the timing aligns. Not because you're lucky, but because you've stopped resonating with the frequency of your past. Still, there's a hidden challenge that few recognize. Your body resists unfamiliar emotions, even the positive ones. It's been conditioned, maybe for decades, to feel struggle, disappointment, or stress. Those sensations have become home. So when you begin to install the emotions of abundance or love, the body tenses, it doubts, it clings to what's familiar, even when that familiarity is pain. Joy feels unsafe. Peace feels foreign. The nervous system doesn't crave truth. It craves what it knows. And when that resistance rises, most people misread it. They think, it's not working. They stop the practice. They abandon the new timeline before it has the chance to stabilize. But the resistance is not a red light. It's a birth contraction. It means the old self is being dissolved. Every time you choose to feel differently than your history taught you, you threaten the survival of your old identity. And the ego, designed to protect continuity, fights back. It whispers, this isn't you. It mutters, be realistic. It hides behind logic and memory, and even your spiritual language, using reason to keep you small. But that voice is not truth. It's static from a dying frequency. It's the sound of the old timeline fading. You are not your habits, not your history, not your trauma. You are consciousness choosing its next expression. And the more consistently you install the memory of your future self, the more you override the chemical pull of your past. You teach the mind to expect miracles. You teach the nervous system that safety can feel like joy. You reintroduce the body to peace until it becomes familiar again. This is coherence, the sacred harmony between brain and heart, where thought and feeling vibrate as one. And in coherence, the field becomes potent. It collapses probabilities into form. That is the true science of manifestation. Not wishing, not hoping, but remembering a version of you that already exists and letting its signal guide your every breath. So now the only question that remains is this: will you continue replaying the memories of your past? Or will you become the living memory of a future that is already calling your name? You're shaping reality right now, not through effort, not through strategy, but through the quiet power of what you notice. Because observation is creation. And the real question is, what are you observing? If your mind is fixed on what's missing, if your heart keeps reaching for what hasn't yet arrived, if your energy circles around what could go wrong, then you're not observing your desired future. You're breathing life into the version you fear. The quantum field doesn't respond to preference. It responds to focus. It mirrors your attention like a perfect echo. In quantum physics, the observer effect reveals the secret. The act of looking changes what is seen. Particles exist as infinite potential until they are watched. The moment attention meets possibility, collapse happens. And that collapse is creation. But here's what we often overlook. You are always observing something. You are always collapsing a timeline. Manifestation isn't inconsistent. It's precise. It's just that most people are manifesting unconsciously, aiming their observation toward lack, fear, and delay. Every worry is a command. Every internal argument, an instruction to the field. Every thought infused with emotion becomes an order to reality. Most people have become experts at noticing what isn't working. They measure progress through absence. They scan the world for confirmation of delay. They confuse the echo of their past vibration for evidence of the future, and then they wonder why nothing moves. When you wait for physical proof to believe, you stop being the observer. You become the observed. You slip into the gravity of old timelines. You surrender authorship to circumstance. Neville Goddard once said, "To feel poor while praying for wealth is to be rewarded only with the feeling of poverty." You cannot invite abundance while watching scarcity. You cannot generate love while worshiping loneliness. The field listens not to your words, but to the music of your frequency. For many, that frequency has been hijacked by fear, by inherited stories, by the emotional DNA of survival. These are not just beliefs. They are quantum codes, instructions that tell the universe who you believe yourself to be. This is familiar, they say. This is me. But what if familiar is just outdated data? What if the identity you're referencing isn't your future self, but your expired one? Here lies the paradox. The more you fight what is, the more you feed it. Resistance isn't neutral, it's nourishment for the old frequency. Each time you reject your present, you reinforce it with the electricity of your focus. The universe isn't punishing you, it's faithful. It mirrors the signal you keep broadcasting. And if your broadcast says, "I'm still not there," then life responds, "Understood, you're not." So how do you break the loop? Not by chasing results, not by tightening your grip, but by shifting the identity of the observer. You don't have to visualize harder. You have to become the one for whom it's already done. Step into the frequency of inevitability, the quiet certainty that whispers, "Of course it's mine," not because you forced it, but because you finally aligned with it. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions hum the same note, you enter coherence. And coherence is clarity, the field's purest language. A coherent being doesn't send mixed signals. It doesn't oscillate between hope and doubt. It emits a single frequency so precise that reality reorganizes around it with ease. Clarity, though, isn't about control. It's about surrender. It's the willingness to trust the unseen so completely that you no longer need proof. You become the proof. When your vibration stabilizes, the outer world begins to rearrange itself in response. People shift, doors open, patterns dissolve without struggle, yet the mind will rebel. It will point to your circumstances, your bank account, your relationships, your body, and whisper, "See, it's not working. That's not truth." That's the ghost of the old self begging for your attention one last time. Because if it can get you to observe fear again, it can survive. But you are not here to survive. You are here to transcend. You are here to gently, consciously collapse the outdated version of you so the next one can breathe. Timelines don't shift through force. They shift through fidelity. Your unwavering devotion to the future self you've chosen. Stay loyal to that version long enough, and the field begins to match it. You'll feel the shift first as a quiet knowing, then as a new emotional baseline, then as a changed reflection in the mirror of life. Reality is not fixed, it's fluid. Every moment, infinite versions of you coexist, each awaiting your gaze. Your focus is the selector. Your emotion is the amplifier. Your belief is the stabilizer. And when all three align, you don't just witness a new world, you become it. But here's the final paradox. You cannot demand to see it before you feel it. Because the moment you can feel it without seeing, the timeline has already collapsed. The body knows. Words can deceive. Intentions can waver. But the nervous system never lies. You can script affirmations with perfect precision, visualize your dream in radiant detail, but if your body still vibrates in the frequency of the past, you're not transmitting the future. You're echoing fear. And the quantum field, unbiased and loyal, does not respond to what you want. It responds to what you are. Feel it as though it's already here. And this is not pretending, not forcing a smile or faking gratitude. This is becoming the vibration of the reality you desire, not thinking it, not wishing it, but living it, emotionally, energetically, biologically, before the world shows a single sign. This is the boldest act of creation, to move ahead of your physical timeline, to embody love before it arrives, to breathe abundance before the money appears, to walk in freedom while the cage still lingers. It's not delusion, it's quantum alignment. Neuroscience confirms it. The body cannot tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and one physically lived. When you rehearse a future with intensity, your neurons wire it. Your hormones, heart rhythm, and nervous system respond. Your field recalibrates. And suddenly, you are no longer thinking about the timeline. You are inside it. When your inner reality exceeds your outer reality, the field begins to bend. In quantum mechanics, reality is participatory, not objective. Your internal state creates the external conditions. The field responds to your signal, not your circumstance. And the most coherent signal you can emit is the signal of already being. Not needing, not waiting, simply being. But here's the challenge. Your body may have been conditioned for decades to live in stress, vigilance, and lack. These patterns are not just in your mind, they are in your body, stored in fascia, breath, and posture. So when you begin to embody the new, when your chest softens, your spine lifts, your heart opens, the old frequency resists. It whispers, "You're faking it." It tugs you back to the gravity of familiar struggle. And in that moment, you must choose. Because the truth is, you don't step into a new reality when it arrives. You step into it before it manifests. You cross the vibrational threshold, and the scene follows. This is not wishful thinking. It is electromagnetic causality. Your heart emits the most powerful magnetic field in your body. When it beats with gratitude, joy, and love, heart and brain synchronize. A unified field emerges around you, measurable and potent. In this state, your influence on the quantum field multiplies exponentially. Coherence is not a one-time visualization. It is daily devotion to becoming the self who already is the outcome. Embodiment means the future becomes natural, familiar, unquestioned. Cells code for it. Actions align effortlessly. Speech, posture, even presence reflected. You stop signaling desire. You signal reality. Subtle at first, almost imperceptible. A lighter mood upon waking. Old triggers no longer stir you. Peace replaces striving. and gradually the field mirrors this new self. Yet the ego resists. It craves drama, proof, reassurance. It points to accounts, relationships, bodies, circumstances, and says, "See? Nothing's happening." If you listen, you collapse the wave into uncertainty again. Instead, pause, breathe, return to embodiment, feel it now, without needing confirmation, and paradoxically, the world begins to bend toward you. Not because you chased it, but because you became magnetic to it. The most powerful manifestors are not the ones who push hardest. They are the ones emotionally familiar with their future. To them, it is not fantasy, it is memory, frequency already visited in dreams, in silence, in meditation. The body remembers. So ask yourself, how does it feel to already live your desired reality? Where does it reside in your body? What posture do you carry? What tone of voice arises naturally? What decisions flow effortlessly from this state? Make that feeling your home. Visit it daily. Breathe into it. Walk inside it until one day you no longer embody a timeline. You become it. Declare it silently to the field. I am already living it. Let it ripple through your cells, your choices, your tomorrow. Once claimed internally, the external rearranges, not through magic, but through quantum fidelity. Desire is a flare, a frequency spike, a signal from your higher self, revealing what is possible, what already exists in another vibrational address. But desire is not meant to linger. It is a messenger, not a home. Prolong it and it decays. It becomes craving, lack, the loop of not yet. This is where most get trapped. A spark appears, a vision lights up your being. For a moment you resonate, aligned, calling the future in. Then comes waiting, then questioning, then checking, and noticing it hasn't arrived. Subtly, you collapse the wave again. You revert to the seeker rather than the creator, observing the world from desire, not embodiment. This cycle can become self-sustaining. You desire, you visualize, you doubt, you wait, and in doing so, you reinforce the separation. The longer you linger here, the more your nervous system normalizes the gap between who you are now and who you are becoming. It begins to feel natural to almost arrive, to dwell in preparation, to linger in almost. But the quantum field does not respond to preparation. It responds to presence. It responds to the moment you no longer need desire, because you have become the embodiment of it. This is the inflection point. Desire melts into identity. The ache of longing transforms into the warmth of knowing, not through detachment or apathy, but through coherence so profound, so unwavering, that the desire has fulfilled its purpose. It has drawn you into the vibration of your next self. And once you are there, the desire is no longer necessary. You are the reality you once chased. This is when time folds. You stop projecting reality into the future and begin expressing it from the future. Here now, in every breath, the illusion of delay dissolves. The field no longer waits for your signal of someday. It recognizes already. And because you are no longer chasing, the timeline meets you effortlessly. It collapses quietly, elegantly, inevitably. Yet the ego resists. Identity shifts without its control terrify it. It will disguise itself as spiritual guidance, whispering doubt, urging more effort, more checking, more striving. It seeks to reignite desire because wanting gives it a role. It thrives on needing, on becoming. Identity, on the other hand, is arrival. And arrival threatens the old self addicted to the process. You must remain vigilant. Notice when desire creeps back, not as inspiration, but as distraction. Observe the subtle reopening of the loop, not with judgment, but with awareness. The loop whispers, just check again, just visualize one more time. You're not doing enough. Your enoughness is not measured by effort. It is measured by frequency. When your frequency stabilizes in the state of already having, nothing else is required. This is why embodiment ends the loop. You no longer filter reality through desire. You navigate from alignment, choosing what naturally resonates with who you are now. Everything changes. Your decisions stop signaling separation. Your words cease to reaffirm scarcity. Your inner dialogue no longer whispers when it comes. You act as one who already has. And the universe mirrors this truth with precision. This is the quantum leap from seeker to source. You stop broadcasting "I want" and begin radiating "I am." You move from negotiation to collaboration, from longing to landing. Within this identity, you become undeniable. People feel it. Opportunities feel it. The field itself feels it. Identity is the most powerful spell you can cast. It does not ask. It declares. And once declared, the universe organizes itself accordingly. Your deepest desires are not goals. They are invitations, blueprints, coordinates from the version of you who already exists. When you embody that version, the need for desire dissolves. Not because you gave up, but because you integrated. The signal is no longer sent outward. It radiates inward. The field no longer responds to what you want. It reflects who you are. The future is not a destination. It is a frequency. It does not arrive in time. It reveals itself through alignment. When you stop chasing, when you stop trying to manifest, and instead begin to remember, everything changes. Remembering your future is not metaphor. It is a vibrational fact. You have already walked the path, met the people, touched the reality, not in this timeline, but across infinite timelines where every potential self exists, encoded, waiting for your consciousness to attune. This is why desire feels specific, personal, inevitable. It is not random. It is resonance, a pull from the self who has already become. Your task is not to invent life. It is to become the emotional proof that it already exists. To walk not as one striving to arrive, but as one who knows they have already arrived. This is the shift from time-based creation to field-based embodiment. You stop measuring progress externally. You stop asking how long will it take. Time becomes irrelevant in the presence of coherence. The truth is simple. If you feel it now, you already have it. If you do not feel it now, chasing it will only push it further away. To live from the memory of the future means your energy precedes evidence. You feel peace before the solution arrives. You feel confidence before the path is clear. You feel abundance before the transaction manifests. Not to convince the universe, but because your nervous system has rehearsed it so deeply that doubt no longer exists. You are not trying to prove or become anything. You are loyal to the version of you that already is. And from that fidelity, reality unfolds around you in perfect alignment. Not by chance, not by luck, but by quantum law. The field does not grant what you beg for. It mirrors who you are being. Effort alone cannot create lasting change. Hustle from a vibration of not enough, and you circle the same results. Desperate prayer collapses nothing. Endless visualization without coherence only reinforces fear. Frequency is reality's language. To speak fluently, you must feel it. Your greatest work is not in doing more, it is in remembering better. Remember the version of you who already knows, already chose, already became. Feel their breath in yours, their calm in your chest, their clarity in your choices. Walk in that remembrance, not as faith, but as identity. In the quantum field, who you are now is the only vote that matters. You are not collapsing the future, you are collapsing the memory of it into form. And if you can hold that vibration, even when the 3D world insists otherwise, you step fully into the field. You no longer react to life, you orchestrate it. Not through force, not through control, but through alignment, through coherence. This is the new paradigm of creation, where manifestation flows as movement, desire becomes data, thought ripples into timeline, and your reality begins to mirror the knowing that has always lived within you. Pause. Feel into your field. Not the one society taught you to chase, not the one your past conditioned you to expect, but the one your higher self has quietly been waiting for you to reclaim. It is already here. You do not need another sign, another day, another external proof. You are already living it. And the more you stabilize in this knowing, the faster the world responds, reflecting back the life you are already embodying. If even a spark has ignited within, it is your invitation to go deeper, to move from understanding into embodiment, from awareness into transformation. from remembering into radiating. This is about practicing your field daily, feeling into your desired reality as if it is already present, breathing it, moving through it, letting your posture, your voice, your choices reflect the version of you that already exists. The magic does not come from doing more. It comes from being more, from stepping fully into your frequency, from trusting the coherence you have cultivated even when the world seems to contradict it. You are already the version of you who has what you desire. Now stabilize in that knowing. Choose it, live it, breathe it, and watch as the field responds naturally, effortlessly, inevitably.